Today's podcast also comes from my voices who seem to be obsessed with the word evil and sometimes either accuse themselves or me of being the devil. So you can understand how this would make a complicated situation for me, just because, nobody just wants to hear those phrases blurted out at random. The devil, you're the devil. This is evil, evil, evil. So I was going to give my take on evil, the nature of evil and the devil and what those mean. And if I have time, go into the idea of the fall of man, the story of the Garden of Eden and original sin, which is where the concept of evil comes from. So let's start there. Yeah, that's a great place to start when talking about evil. People think, I guess, that original sin is sex, which is ridiculous. God said, be fruitful and multiply. And so there goes that. And often people truncate, which means abbreviate or shorten the name of the tree in the Garden of Eden from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil to the tree of knowledge, which is extremely different, right? We want to eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge. Knowledge is good. It is not bad to have knowledge. We're not forbidden to have knowledge. Like, gosh, what a horrible misunderstanding over time that God forbade us to eat of the tree of knowledge, right? So we're not allowed to know anything. That wasn't at all the case. God forbade us to eat from the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And what he said was, that is too much power for man to hold. That is a power only God can hold, is to determine what is good and what is evil, to be the judge of that. To judge what is good and what is evil is a power only God should have. Man should not have that power. But, of course, there was temptation, and whose fault that was, who cares? It was eons ago, right? It's just a creation myth. It's just a story. It's a morality tale to help you watch your butt, to say, judge not, lest you be judged. You're going to get yourself into trouble of seeing evil everywhere. I believe the story in Paradise Lost is like, I really want to eat the apple, and Eve is like, are you asking me if it's okay to eat the apple because you're going to eat it anyway, whether or not I say to eat it, so go ahead and eat it. And then Eve was blamed for tempting Adam when she was just like, whether or not I say yes or no, you're going to eat the apple, so go ahead and eat it. That's what I remember of Paradise Lost, which I've read twice and plan to read again, which is a great poetic, fictional interpretation of the story of the fall of man in the Garden of Eden and the eating of the apple, of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So all of a sudden then Adam felt afraid, probably, and things around him no longer felt blissful. He saw in things threatening. Some things were threatening. They were evil. They were out to get him. Some things were good. So if you see threat, you see fear. Evil is nothing but fear. Recognizing a threat in something, really for no reason, maybe it's arbitrary. Now, when cavemen saw a lion that might attack them, if cavemen saw a threatening animal of some kind that was going to attack them, did they think it evil? Did they think it came from the devil? Depends on the culture, the tribe. Or was it a natural part of life that they had to defend themselves from? This is just another animal that lives here on this land, and we have to fight against it if we don't want to die. That's not evil. That's just the circle of life. Right, there's the blissful Garden of Eden. We are all animals living here. And that's not an evil lion. It's just a lion defending its pride land, defending its family. And we've gone so far with what we're willing to define as evil, which is just a concept that we don't understand. It's just a concept based on fear, based on misinformation, based on an emotion that we have because we don't understand something, because we believe something threatening to what we know when really it's not evil, it's just different. It's threatening to what we know, but that doesn't mean it's going to destroy us or kill us or take us away from things, or that it is intrinsically evil at its heart, right? That it is devilish. Now, the Tao includes both dark and light. I like the philosophy that is beautifully laid out in the Never-Ending Story, and I'm going to do a book club where we read that and talk about it. I don't think people give it enough credit because they think it's a children's book, but when you read it as many times as I have, you know that it's not. But they have something similar to an Ouroboros, which is the snake biting its own tail, but it is a black snake and a white snake biting their own tail, so it's similar to the Tao, and then the creation and the destruction, and then the everlasting life, the light and the dark, that they feed each other, they need each other. And that is more natural, that is more real, that it is not good and evil in a war. There is light and dark, there is life and death, there is creation and destruction, and that is natural. Now human nature comes in, and because we have done this forbidden thing, we have all these emotions, and we have all these feelings and discomforts, and it's really fear. Then when the devil comes in, I said I was going to talk about the devil. The devil, what's his other name? The Prince of Lies. The devil is just a lie. And what is it in the Never-Ending Story? What does imagination become in the real world? A lie. It's just a lie he's trying to sell. So don't believe the lie. The devil is just a liar. It's deception. So be able to spot it. Be smarter than that. And don't be afraid of the devil just because he's the devil. Who cares? Doesn't mean you're going to win, right? You scare me with the name. You scare me with the suit you wear and the pitchfork you carry and your reputation. But that's all lies. That's all smoke and mirrors. Really, you've got nothing because it's all just a lie. And it's all, I've got love, I've got faith, I've got the truth, which is that all I have to do is poof you away with the truth, which is that you're nothing. You are just a lie made up to scare us and control us. You're just a lie made up by a person.